it's a tough position. But hopefully it'll balance out with trying to bring in the technology.
My concern with some of the duties being eliminated are also very important. So if they're already comfortable in the hands of another employee, fantastic. I just wouldn't want those being eliminated, period.
No, they'll just go to somebody else because everybody's doing more.
Is there a motion to accept?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. And approval of the minutes from Wednesday, May 11th, 2011.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And I'm abstaining, I was not here. New business agenda. Any new business?
I actually have something, through the chair. We're coming to the end of the first year under the bullying policy. And if we all remember, there was quite a bit made of the anti-bullying legislation at the state level and what the schools were going to do about it. And there was a lot of very, very hard work done here by the staff and faculty to develop an anti-bullying policy. And now we're coming up to the end of that, the first year with that. And I would like to get a report on how that's going. Also, from another direction, coming together with that idea, is we're also coming to the end of the first year with the cuts in staff and administration. And one of the big things that happens with cuts in staff and administration is, as we've mentioned even 5 minutes ago here, is that people do more with less. And especially at the administration level, one of the things you tend to see when you cut administration is a lack of support with discipline. And I personally have been hearing some things, some rumblings of some bullying issues that some parents are pretty concerned with. So if we can just get a report from the schools about if there have been any changes in just the general bullying atmosphere over the years with the new policy, and have there been any changes with a reduction in administration, maybe especially at the elementary school level. I'd like to hear from those people.
Are you looking for data, or are you looking for them to talk about what it feels like? Because
If both
If they want
would
to
be
get into
great.
data, then data is good.
Yeah, but
Well, the data's
also
important.
what
I
it
think
feels
Yeah.
like is actually pretty important, I think. I mean, just I'll repeat what I said. I am definitely hearing from several different unrelated sources that there might be some bullying issues going on. I just want to make sure that as a school committee, we can support the administration and the faculty and the staff in protecting our students. Thank you.
Anybody else?
are you thinking of, and the reason why I'm asking this question is because I was looking at the calendar as you were asking. You're talking June 8th, which is pretty much, I'm asking my administrative staff to review their goals by this Friday, so they won't have time this week. Next week is a short week. So information trying to get here by the 8th would be very difficult. And the agenda on the 22nd, I'm not sure, but it may be substantial.
I won't be here on the 22nd.
And the next meeting is the 5th, and that was to do transfers and close out the budget year. Just so that people understand,
5th of July?
Yeah.
5th of July,
Tuesday?
Tuesday. It was at 1:30 in the
5th of
afternoon.
July.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I don't know if we're going to have anyone here for that.
Just as long as there's three of us.
Well, you might have two of us.
We
Hope
need
Tony's around.
Ouch.
we need to close the budget.
Ouch there.
The concern that I had is I had talked to my staff about this. In part of the plan for the district is a yearly review. It was part of our agenda for the retreat that we have every summer, to collect the data, review it, take a look at the plan, update it if we need to. I can certainly get them to give us data by the 22nd. I'm not sure it's fair to ask them by the 8th. So the question's going to be, how do we,
Can we at
How we
least
do that.
try to prepare for the 20, oh, well, you're not going to be here, so that's useless.
What I'd like to see the data at the next meeting, in terms of the follow-up. Perhaps we can put on the agenda to have some interaction with the staff on what that data means. I would hope that that data is already been entered someplace. I think it's very important that we have an ongoing procedure as outlined in our policy to have a system that collects any reports of bullying, and that should be data that's there someplace. I believe that that's important for the incoming resource officer to know all the information about bullying reports and the outcomes. And I believe it's essential that those reports are readily available, and now to interpret it with the staff is a later event. But I'd like to see the data as soon as possible, especially having seen on the local news another southeastern Massachusetts community that had a widely reported incident at a middle school of a good old shellacking in a boys' room of a student that was, someone was holding a video camera, and that particular student's family had multiple reports of bullying to the school previously. So I'd like to at least know if we have any issues that need to be addressed, and I think the data would.
Yeah, and I understand that the agendas in the upcoming meetings are busy, and when I was approached about the issue, it kind of just popped in my head, oh my God, yeah, we did a huge amount of work on that, and then it just disappeared. And we haven't thought of it, we haven't spoken of it, and it's just been gone. And I think it should be a priority, certainly on the list of priorities.
So, see if we can get the data prepared by the next meeting, and we can,
we will try to get it ready by the 3rd, because that's really what you're asking.
And if there needs to be some triage,
Well, because you need it on the 3rd
need
to
it
put
by-
it in the packet.
okay,
and
material-wise.
if...
That's all.
if-
That's my concern.
If there needs to be some triage done to maybe make it a little bit easier, maybe not all of 4 schools need to be put on the front burner right away, maybe...
I think if
I will
we're
tell you
going to do
that
it, we should do it more.
Okay, that's great.
And maybe, I know your concern is that's 5-day leeway from the 3rd getting us to packets to the 8th. I'm all set with, if they have to get the data and just email it to us through our email account. It doesn't actually have to be in the packet. I don't mind getting it by email. If they need a few
Will
more
that
days to
make
get it
it
together by
easier?
We will try to get it by the 3rd. If we can't, we'll do our best to get it to you soon thereafter. If we do it electronically, as long as that's okay.
Just not on the blotters that night.
Yeah, as long as it's not at least a day or so to...
Actually, by law, they can actually send to them on the Monday. So if we need that
True.
extra time, we can send it to you
Will that
on
give you
Monday.
the extra even? Because it's really
Yeah,
not
it's
that
giving them
much.
4 days.
Well, but it's
Read-
Saturday and Sunday don't count.
Right,
Really?
but I would still
Really,
have
kind
all
of.
day Friday to put packets
Okay.
together if need be, or collect the
Monday.
information.
So
And still
those are-
deliver them by
They can
Monday.
be sent out Monday afternoon.
So those are the options. If you can't get everything done by Friday, then we'll work
Try to
potentially
get
a
it on
packet on
Monday.
Monday. If you think that's not going to work, then,
Then I can
Emails are fine.
email it, but I will let you know what I'm going to do so you can be prepared for it.
okay.
I've got some other new business, but my only comment on that again is we have a new incoming resource officer. Currently, there's a new assistant principal at a building who's just taken over. I would think that data would be on her desk her first he or her first day, or she,
Gee.
their first day.
There you go.
In other words, to me, it's that important, and I will agree with Mr. Bernard. We, as members of the school committee, want to revisit our policies that a lot of work was put into, so when we get that information.
And I
we
did
know
want to
what
say,
it
we
is.
don't have the data, but right now, the way that I've seen it is folders. And if there's a big incident that requires some kind of a disciplinary report, then it does come and gets put into the computer. The issue is, we're thinking that eventually the state will have us report on every incident, but they haven't yet. So none of our electronic systems have been updated to deal with that data collection. So right now, it's all in paper form. So it's the conversion from the paper form, which is there and it is available, and the resource officer or the intern can use it. It's not in a way that's readily available to do a presentation on.
Yeah.
That was
I just
my
think we
only
want to know how
concern.
many folders are there and get an update on what's
Right.
going on. The
We'll
other,
we'll try to do that. The administrators meet every other week. Maybe we'll meet that week on we were going to meet on the 7th. We may have to meet a little bit sooner. So,
And the other new business you have?
other items that I think we should schedule in, certainly, it may already be scheduled, block scheduling for the high school. I'm anxious to hear the decision on that, as many of the students and families are looking forward to knowing what to expect next year for schedule. Secondly, I believe that the outcome of our financial management team wants to, in the next few meetings, take a look at our new and final budget. I know we'll be doing some transfers, but as we pass through the window of closing out this year, we want to have that on the agenda, knowing where we stand in terms of our operating budget for 2012, and I think it's an agenda item to look at. Those are the two items.
Yeah, you guys hit them
You're
all.
good?
I'm good.
Okay. You're good?
I'm good, thank you.
All right. And correspondence, something from Murphy has to meet in Nahanni, and National School Boards Association. Bill?
that is one of those that we haven't really signed up to. If you look on the top, it's the hefty bill.
Yeah.
So we have been members of the state,
Mass.
Right.
the state association, not the national.
Not the national.
The only thing to mention is NSBA does have their annual conference taking place in Boston, and it might be worth being able to attend as a not-paying member if we're looking for any professional development for school committee members. So in the fall,
When is that?
It's in the, now you have to ask that question. I don't remember. I know it's in the fall.
yeah.
Okay.
And the mask invoice that we talked about at a previous meeting, I'm just adding to
Yep.
school
Was.
board associations.
Yep.
They've agreed to waive that because it was a paperwork issue, so.
Okay. And legal advisory newsletter, and also a legislative bulletin newsletter. Any other comments and statements from the public that are still here? None seen. Don't forget, town meeting, 45 minutes, 7 o'clock. Please come, help us finish the meeting tonight. We still have 20 or so more articles to go over and vote on, so let your voice be heard. And motion to adjourn?